Hi, pretty people.
Good morning. Hi, guys. Happy Monday.
Amanda's still recovering from 420, so she thinks it's morning.
I'm fine.
Oh yeah, I was fine too, baby.
I was chilling. I continued to partake in the festivities throughout the rest of the night. I assume you did too.
So hello, everyone. Welcome to our YouTube Live weekly roundup. It's John.
And Amanada.
We're glad to see you. If you're listening to us on our podcast, you can check podcast apps. You can check out our video of this on our YouTube channel, Pod in the City. And if you're watching this, you can listen to the audio version over on our podcast apps where you can see all of our other podcasts. It's all one podcast, but you can see. And just like that, my favorite show in the world. And,
Girls, Broad City, Designing Women is coming up this week.
That's on our Patreon. Now, friends, if you feel like supporting us monetarily, go over, check out our Patreon, patreon.com/podinthecity. And we do all kinds of shows over there, Designing Women, Girls. And what's really cool is some of our listeners have been rewatching or watching the shows and actually they were saying that they were watching Girls and actually
I saw that. I feel like we need to discuss Designing Women because that's the only one that I feel, except that was a really good episode that we did. So I don't know. We did discuss that it's going to take us 2 entire years to get through the first season of Designing Women. So maybe we can figure out something for that 4th slot. But the other ones I feel solid about. But it's just so many episodes.
This week's Designing Women
is bad.
You can watch me really lay in about. Yeah, it's about this man who is maybe 50 pounds heavier than me, and they act like he's basically a whale. They're like, this is I rode an elephant and it reminded me of this guy.
That's a line. That's a line.
So check it out. Check it out, guys.
Do you want to just quickly talk about Saturday and how that went, and maybe what little thing we have coming up later in the episode?
Yeah, let's hear about it.
We did 420. Justine is in the screenshot actually, because she commented at the time. But this was a little preview here. But if you guys want to look at Jody here, this is right about halfway through her descent into. Why are you off now?
Because I thought maybe you'd leave that photo up for
I don't leave photos up for 25 seconds.
Oh no, I know you like to take them down in about half a second. I was thinking about that earlier today. I was like, girl, get the photo. Anyway, all right. So
Jody
is live, you guys. Yeah. She is not dead. She made it.
She made it. Yeah, she's totally fine. I didn't hear from her until the next morning, but it was pretty much just I think I died yesterday and came back to life. But now she knows. And again, we've all been there. She had to check out early during the live because, look at her face. This was pretty much all I thought she was frozen for a good amount of time.
For the last 45 minutes of it. It honestly was. There was a moment that hit her where she stopped talking. It was like, she was also the one who was supposed to be leading everything. So.
Right. I want to thank John because then I was like, I feel like I'm constantly the one that has to jump in, and then I'm such an annoying person already. So John was kind of taking the reins of guiding it. And I was like,
I'll just be considered the annoying one who jumps over everything.
Exactly how I wanted it.
Add it to the list, baby.
But Jody, I think if she's able to, she's gonna jump in a little bit and check in and just give proof of life and kind of discuss what her experience was. So she'll be on here live with us. But it was fun. It was 4th annual. You guys can check it out by going to our Patreon and just looking and joining any tier and then just clicking on the link there and it'll take you right to you can read all the live comments. Super.
And we're not trying to put everything behind a paywall. All we're trying to do is like we're enjoying ourselves on there, if you know what I mean. So we don't really want that out for just
no, this was pretty trashy.
Very,
pretty trashy.
So if you'd like to check that out, please do. It's on patreon.com/podinthecity.
Yeah.
Also, you guys, okay.
Really?
This was our episode this week. This is the ultimate finger bang. This is the finger banging episode. I didn't want to put anything related to that on that because I couldn't edit it. I was going to vomit. Anyway, just kidding. This is when Che finger bangs Miranda. And we did have our special guest on this week, Jody.
So she's all over the place.
You guys, make sure that you're listening.
This Wednesday that drops, baby. Wednesday on Patreon, Friday on the main feed.
I'm sure if you're on here, you're already listening to it. But, we're preaching to the choir. But maybe there's one new listener.
And just
also,
hit the damn subscribe.
If you're not subscribed right now, please hit subscribe.
That will actually help us monetarily without you even doing it.
Exactly, because we're so close. We are so close. Speaking of, I'm going to do some more shameless plugging.
Please do, because by the time you kind of got to this on the 420, things were just like flying off the rails and everyone was super, super out of it. So
that's why I was like, I'm throwing this at the beginning. Now, friends, I have spoken about this, especially if you have listened to our Patreon. Again, I'm sorry it's behind a paywall, but anyway, I've been collecting Barbies and I was wanting to do like a YouTube channel or videos or something. I started my TikTok. Here it is. And I'm already like doing pretty good. I think I have like 12 videos maybe, or might be even more. I was
my God, the day of 420, I'm like, am I going to have to like jump in and be like, hey, here's a 10-minute reminder? Because you were blasting them out like me on a bad day with IBS.
Well, I come to find out on TikTok, the way that you can get monetized over there is you have to get 100,000 views in 30 days or something in the 30-day period. So I'm like, okay, just bang out as much shit as I can. I'm very proud of my most recent one. So again, my TikTok's actually called Open That Doll. If you look for it, it's right there. Follow it. It's very mindless, like it doesn't take much energy. The last one I did though was the paleontologist Barbie, which I did feature last week and showed Amanda. And I put it to the Jurassic Park thing. And I actually timed it out. So it's like, welcome to Jurassic Park. And then it shows it. And then it has little dinosaurs in the box. And so there's like dinosaur noises in the little sound.
I love dinosaurs.
Wah, and then it zooms in on the dinosaurs. So I was like, oh, it's kind of fun. So go over there and help me get 100,000. Okay, Krista, I tried to add the TikToks as shorts on YouTube. And for some reason, it doesn't want me to like do that. I have to have a proprietarily edited version, and in order to take it off of TikTok, it has to have a watermark on it. And anyway, it's a long. So I'm really trying to focus my efforts right now on the TikTok, even though it is being banned allegedly. But you know what? First Amendment rights.
I don't think it's
Barbies for all, y'all.
All right, what do we is that everything? Oh, and then ASMR. You want to quickly talk about that?
Okay, yes, we are again more plugging here, but we are doing our ASMR this week. It's a Ziploc bag version. Now, someone recommended that, and before we were recording it, I was like, "Oh my God, Amanda, give me a minute here. I'm trying to find out who suggested this. I couldn't find it. So if you were the person who recommended it, please let me know because I'd love to." Shout out. Which cat is that?
This is George Costanza. He never comes in here. Isn't he cute?
I was going to say, I think I've maybe never seen him.
Yeah, he's kind of aloof.
Interesting. Oh, yeah. I love it.
No,
check out the video if you're just listening. Or if not, we're sorry. Anyway, we did have a lot of fun this weekend. Now, should we get to some...
That was housekeeping. We didn't play the housekeeping thing.
I was thinking that we might adjust the photo on housekeeping to be Tom and Ariana's house.
I love that.
Anne.
All right, well, let's say goodbye to my my old one.
Well, I'm not trying to, friends. If
Oh,
you're a
it'll
long-time
stay on
listeners,
me
I'm
and
not trying to,
Jody's. I'm not making new
not
shit
trying to
over
kick
there.
it off. It's just yeah. All
No,
right.
we're growing and we're creating our own
This
vibe over here.
well, in this week's Vanderpump Rules, they did show like a clip of what their house looks like when Anne was fired, and it
Yeah.
is like just shit piled every possible place. So yeah.
Sorry,
Oh
I'm
my
reading
God, there's a
comments.
million comments. Oops.
I have one dog, Walter. Walter, look what. Yeah, there's Walter, and then I have two cats, Latrice Royale and George Costanza. I almost just
I have
burped into the
one
mic.
cat. Her name's Butch Pussy, and then I am possibly gonna get a dog. I've been thinking about it.
Yes. Okay, what do we have on our? Oh, you want to get into hot topics?
Yeah, let's get some
Yeah,
hot
baby.
topics. Now, Amanda's going to need to lead the hot topics because I don't, even though this is called hot topics, don't know what these
remember what I
topics she's
wrote.
talking about. Sean Foley, I don't know who that is.
Oh, I'm so glad I wrote down these names because I totally would have forgotten. Because I think I wrote most of these notes on 420. So me looking at these now, I'm like, oh, okay, all right. I had a night. Okay, so I talked about Baby Reindeer last week. I assume you haven't watched it because I mean, honestly,
No.
It's also very British, which I feel.
I heard it was sad or something, or
disturbing. It's really it's disturbing. It's complicated. I really love the way they wrapped it up in kind of a. Oh yeah, like it's about sexual abuse, and it's kind of like, oh no, sometimes like the victims can have very conflicting views about it, and like still want to be friends with that person. Anyway, it's fascinating. It's very British too, but I feel like British shows you have to really focus on them. Like I can't watch the original The Office because I can't focus very well, and I have trouble like understanding what they're saying. But anyway, okay, so it's about this real life thing, right? With the guy who's the lead. This happened to him in real life. He's a comedian, so this was his story. And the woman, Martha, on the show, her name, oh shoot, I should have uploaded those two screenshots. Oh well. She was the stalker, but he named her something different. And then there was a guy that sexually abused him, who's like this like well-known guy in the industry who like gave him a bunch of drugs and like molested him a bunch of times. Trigger alert after the fact. And but then like he ended up still working with him like after and stuff. So he did all these interviews when the show was about to be dropped, the main guy, and he's like, yeah, no, don't worry, like nobody's gonna ever find out who these people are. Well, guess what? Mimi? We did, because they like within a day, the internet found both of these people. The woman they found, I forget what her name is, but actually I'm kind of happy I'm not going to put the screenshots up because I do feel like leave her alone. She clearly has severe mental illness. Like we don't, but if you want to look her up, you can find her because somebody found her Twitter account and you can see all the she sent him over 40,000 messages, I think, and tweets and voicemails and stuff. So people found her, but then
did that person take place in Europe?
Yeah, it all happened in, well, they have a Scottish accent.
Because I remember this story, I think. Or there might have been someone here too that was like that, who sent a person 25,000 text messages or something crazy.
I mean, I feel like that probably happens a lot, unfortunately. Yeah. But so then the guy, piece of shit, the one that like in the industry, his name is Sean Foley, and I don't really mind calling him out. And the guy in the show his name is, the character is Darian, and the real guy, Sean Foley, they fucking found him, and he's stepping down as like, I think he founded Birmingham Theater Company in, let's say, Europe, and he had to step down this week, just randomly.
I'm sorry.
Yep, you're fine.
Who is that guy?
He's the one that like molested the guy, that like gave him a bunch of drugs and like sexually assaulted him over and over.
And that was in Baby Reindeer.
That was in Baby Reindeer. So like this was all a true story. So the real guy that did it,
I thought it was about a woman doing that to a man.
No, there were like two things happen in this story. One is that he's being stalked. So then it's kind of the relationship between like how he does kind of lean on the stalker sometimes because she loves him so much and he finds her comforting. It's actually a very fascinating take on like, you know, real life and interpersonal relationships. Not to get deep. All right. So that was pretty much it. Do you have any hot topics?
Let me see. Steph just said my mic is pretty soft compared to.
Well, my mic, I got this thing that now my mic's not on the desk.
Let me see. Let me I can bump up my output.
Yeah, just do that.
That's the oh wait, no. Oh God, so sorry, friends. Oh, here we go. Hello.
It might just be that I'm too loud. If I just do this, that's probably better. Hey. Anyway, yeah, do you have any hot topics?
No. My hot topics are more in what I'm watching and that. So maybe I could do a hot topic here. So this week was the finale of Drag Race, season 16, and they crowned a winner. Now, you didn't watch any of Drag Race, did you?
No, I'm completely fallen off.
This was the winner, Nymphia Wind. This is when she got won this week. She called herself
open her thing and like balloons came out or something?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, she was dressed like a giant boba.
Oh, that's a good idea. Better than live butterflies.
Yeah. Well, there's when she did the reveal, it was like on a lyric that was like something like about butterflies, and people were like, "Ooh, shots fired! Shots fired!"
Joan, Shannon thinks that it's using your AirPods mic.
You think so?
Just go down to settings.
I did. I did.
Okay. Well, then you're fine.
But I could also just not use them, right? Or does that mess everything up?
No, don't do anything. Just leave it. Okay, so tell us about Drag Race.
Okay, well, I didn't actually watch this season either. I was very committed to every other season. But wait, sorry. Hello?
Yeah. It sounds the same to me because it's going through StreamYard.
No, it's fucked up.
Drag Race.
Okay, wait. Is that better? Did I fix it? Anyway, yes, I did not watch this season, unfortunately. I've been lately like kind of Drag Race out. This is like one of the very first seasons I did not really commit to, but I've watched all the TikToks that are following it all. You know what I mean? And so, but this bitch was fierce. I watched the first like 3 episodes, and she was one of the top people since the very beginning. One of her biggest things is she like makes all of her costumes. I don't think she made this one because it showed her online with a designer, but I'm going to show you a few of her outfits that just were like mind-blowing. Now this one she made for a design challenge, like on the show. Okay, so I think it was like a box of menswear or something. So she used all these ties. It was amazing. People were
How old is this person? Like 21?
She's 28.
Okay.
28.
That's still pretty young.
Still 10 years younger than I. So
yeah,
I couldn't
right.
do any of this. She also made this amazing costume. These leaves like came out of her hands because it was for a flower competition or a flower.
Ooh.
She did a lot of stuff that referenced her heritage. She was from Taiwan, and so she did a lot of really cool shit, and I think it was really amazing. And she's also only like the second Asian person to win after Raja, and that was season 3?
3.
Yeah. So I mean, it's about time, I would probably say, and she's fucking fabulous.
Do you remember Drag Race like season 2, 3, 4? Well, 5, 2, 3, 4. I feel was like the golden age, right? Or like the Renaissance. Those were like the classic.
4, 5, 6 were when it really got good. That was
I started watching in 4, but then going back season 2, well, in All Stars 2. Well, I don't want to get into all that, but and then also season 8 with Chi Chi DeVayne and Bob. That was a really good season too. That was the first season me and Nick ever covered on Squirrel Friends. We'll never want to re-listen to any of those episodes, but I feel like back then
watching from the beginning and
you did, yeah. Season 1's kind of its own thing, but I feel like back then it must have been so much easier because now these queens have to do this. They have to get like professional photographers so that they can post their shit on Instagram the next day. They need to live tweet. Like Raja and Delta were just like doing the show, and then 6 months later it aired, and then that's it. They got a bunch of club appearances.
Exactly, and they also like would just wear like wet seal clothes.
Totally,
Like they would just
Tatiana.
get like just whatever and throw some glitter on it. But now it's like they all need these custom. Yeah, I can't even imagine trying to go on that. You'd have to spend $100,000 just to be able to go, and it's almost become so like
It's a different audience now for sure.
yeah.
Have you ever been to DragCon?
I've never gone to DragCon, but I've been to a couple of the drag race tours, where they come here. I went to a Battle of the Seasons one that had Courtney Act, Adore, Jinx Monsoon, Alaska. That was amazing.
I went to one too. I think it was just one of them. And like everyone performed once. Sasha Velour had just won, so it was whatever.
Okay.
And she did this number with a suitcase. It was amazing. But everyone did one number, one or two numbers, and then like there was like a break, and then they were going to do a whole second act, and I was like, let's go. We left. It was like 10:30 p.m. I'm like, I don't want to sit through all this again. Like I just saw everyone do something, and I was having like horrible heartburn. Anyway, yeah.
So that was some a hot topic because it was just the ending. So let's get into what are we watching because we got a lot, baby.
Okay, go ahead and click the thing because I forgot which.
I'm literally not even looking at it because now all I'm thinking, I'm like sweating over here thinking my mic isn't working right. I'm like, oh my God.
I don't even see that you uploaded it in here.
So what are we watching?
Yeah.
Isn't it your thing?
It's not in here, babe. You never said. No, you like made one. Yeah, you made a new one.
I did, but what I realized, sorry guys, this is jank ass.
It's no different than I usually do.
I did, but I thought this year, this week, since I was gonna, anyway, just go ahead. What do you want to talk about? Amanda's actually been listening to like a million audiobooks. And I'll give you a little quick rundown here. Like every weekend, I'm making the little cover things for this. And I'll be like, okay, what do you want on it?
Weekend, we mean Sunday night at 10:30 p.m.
Yeah, I'm trying to say this week, like yesterday, I'm making the cover. And Amanda's, I'm like, what do you want on it? Amanda's like, I got everything locked and loaded in the notes. And I'm looking through the notes and she has fucking 4 audiobooks listed. And I respond to her and I'm like, you listened to 4 audiobooks? Like, is that even humanly possible?
I was like, they're written in there, aren't they? Yeah,
and that was the response. In case anyone thinks I am abusive to Amanda, this is what happens. She is so mean to me.
I think now listen, if anyone read through our text messages, I don't think anyone would think that you're the nicer one in the situation. But you know what? I was looking for our StreamYard password earlier, and then of course I asked you, and left me on red.
Okay, and let me tell you what was happening. I was like at lunch with my 100-year-old grandmother, and you're sending me a string of messages that's like, "Hey, can you get in the PayPal? Hey, do you have your code?" I'm like.
But then you were responding with some of the stuff. Anyway, I was looking for the thing. So I was like looking up old messages. And when we first started, your texts were way nicer to me. You had like happy faces and stuff. Like, don't worry, no worries if no. I'm like, wow.
We're being so polite. Each other. As far as the podcast goes, like, we get it done.
We started getting real. Anyway, I did listen to some podcasts, but audiobooks. I listen to several podcasts too. And currently I'm listening to Guts by Kristen Johnson, which I like to listen to once a year. And I also watched Crossroads this morning. But I won't talk about those.
Crossroads?
Yeah, with Britney Spears.
Is Kristen Johnson in that?
No, I'm just saying on top of all these things, I also knocked out Crossroads.
Yeah.
Oh God, I wake up at like 6 a.m. now. Okay, you wanted to talk about the Bravo Vault. I don't know what that is. But...
Was that all you were going to say about your 4 audiobooks?
Oh, I got okay. Well, let's. Yes, that would have been a good segue. Let's talk about my audiobooks. The first thing
I was trying to get us into.
I know, but I have them later in the list, so then my like ADD
sorry,
was
sorry.
it was
I
not
just didn't want to
hyperventilating.
keep talking all myself, so I thought it'd be a good time for you to talk.
No, you're good. So I've been listening to this new podcast called, or it's not new, but new to me. It's called, I'm on a kind of an SNL kick right now. It's called, this show hasn't been fun. That show hasn't been funny in years. And it's this SNL historian, and he just does topics on different things. So then I'm like, oh yeah, you know what? I really want to listen to some SNL books. So I listened to, what do you
Is
have?
it gasping for airtime?
Yeah, this one's one of my favorite ones. I mean, my favorite audiobook of all time is the Chris Farley Show. It's amazing, and I mean, whoa, they go through some detail, and it's the most impressive audiobook reading ever. But this is called Gasping for Airtime. It's by Jay Moore. You know who that is, right? The blonde guy, like in the 90s. And he tells this whole story, and it's an easy read / listen. It's pretty short. And it's just about like, he was only there a few seasons. He just never really popped, and just like how awful it was. He hated like all of it. And then at one point, he was so desperate that he stole like some famous comics, like full act. And it was probably a lot easier to do that in the 90s. And like, he got like reprimanded for it kind of, but it was like, he got called into Lauren's office, and Lauren's like, hey, he played the actual sketch like of the real comedian. He's like, have you ever seen this before? And Jay's like, no. And Lauren was like, okay. And then that was it. That's how that was handled. But it was clearly like well, we know what you did. But anyway, super, super good. Because I feel like that's how I would be if I was on SNL. I feel like I could maybe bust my ass and like get on magically. But once I was there, like there's no way I could handle that kind of lifestyle.
Okay,
the cutting
that's
edge
really
of it all.
That's really funny, because I saw a TikTok where it was like, you know, there's something that everyone thinks that they could like do that like they probably really couldn't, like, because you just said, I'm sure I could just get on it, but like I don't know if I could.
I'm not sure I could get on it, but like between the two things.
I'm one of those delusional gays that somehow convinced like I could go on Drag Race and be like, okay. I don't think I would win. No way. But I'm like, I could like at least be like third out.
I think you could get on, especially based on your talking
I would get
heads.
cut. I would get cut. I'm also too old nowadays. Literally, no one on Drag Race is like over 30 anymore.
Oh God, that's so different. They all used to be like in their 30s, except for one or two, like like a Shangela. So then I also listened to Girl Walks Into a Bar by Rachel Dratch, and another really just lovely audiobook reading. Like she sounds so personable and fun. Like she just reads her own book really well, and she gets a lot in.
Very funny.
She's so funny, and you can tell like, I feel like when you hear Tina Fey talk or on interviews, I feel like you can tell that she might kind of be a ballbuster to work with, like not constantly, not constant fun. But I feel like Rachel and Molly Shannon, who I'll get into in a second, had such an energy that she was always happy, always in a good mood. Rachel really gets into a lot of if you saw me in real life, you wouldn't look at me and be like, oh my God, look at that hideous being. But she's like, that's how I am in Hollywood. And these are like how it's been for me. And it's just really fascinating. She gets into like her dating life and how like kind of fucked up it was, but how she ended up getting pregnant when she was 44. I did not know that it was like from like just a friend she kind of fucked like once or twice.
Have you ever seen the like original pilot clips of 30 Rock?
Yeah, I can see why they changed it. Like,
plays Jenna's character. I totally get why they wouldn't have her do that, because having someone like Jane Krakowski makes a lot more sense for that kind of character, or at least what it ended up becoming. How about that?
Oh my God, all the animals are here today. No, and then the other one I
love Molly Shannon, baby. Molly Shannon can do no wrong.
Can you throw that up? Because I'm just looking through.
I can.
It's called Hello Molly. That's Rachel Dratch. No, that's Working Girl. There we go. Hello Molly. And another woman that you can tell was just so much fun, so happy. Latrice, go away. She just is such a wonderful ray of energy, and she talks a lot about SNL, which I like. Like she spends a lot of time in her SNL days and like how she created all these characters and like just how much fun. And she's such a funny person because I relate to her in the way that she like did all this kind of crazy shit when she was a kid, like shoplifting. Like she got into some weird stuff, and like she like almost like took money to like give some guy like head just like for the story kind of things. And she's like, yeah, when it was happening, I was like, this is really fucked up. But as it was happening, I was also thinking, oh my God, I can't wait to make this into a funny story lately, which is kind of how I go through my life, where like everything is a funny story later. So I don't know. I love it.
I have a story to tell on our Patreon. I'm
Okay.
not trying to be really pluggy here, but I can't tell it here. It's about an experience I had yesterday. So
Okay.
please listen to, I guess it will be next week's Patreon for that.
Is that in somehow relate? Is that in, Justine says, I think I can do community theater. You can.
Baby, I'm sure you
you
could get a part.
And you would be the belle of the ball. They would all be, all the people would be, they wouldn't know how to handle Justine because she's like this stunning, like 6 foot tall model. Everyone would just be like, she's too cool for us.
They'd be threatened for sure.
They would definitely be threatened.
I want to say something for Molly Shannon. Guys, if you have not seen this movie with Molly Shannon called Other People.
It's so good. That? Yeah, Mike Mitchell, one of the Doughboys, isn't it?
So she plays a mother who gets cancer and dies in the movie. That's not a spoiler alert or anything. Literally, like one of the first scenes is them, like her dying in the bed, and it's this like prolonged scene. But it's funny, and like heartwarming, but also and there's gay characters. There's a whole part with like this kid drag queen. Other People, guys.
On Netflix, I think.
I don't think it got enough like hype. She is amazing in it too.
Oh yeah, she should have been nominated for stuff for that.
Amazing, for sure. You guys gotta see it.
The other thing that I listened to then was, this is kind of not really, it's in the realm because I consider this a comedian, but Carrie Fisher's Wishful Drinking.
Okay, so tell me, you listened to all these this week.
Yeah, but John, like you have to, like whenever you come on here and I'm like just doing my hair, like you can hear that something's playing, right? Like I don't ever exist in silence.
But aren't audiobooks like 70 hours long or something?
Not all of them. Jane Moore's is probably like 3 hours long. Like some of them are short.
Okay.
And a lot of these play through my dreams. And now that I like I smoke, but now that I don't fuck with any other substance, I'm having like my dreams are so fun now. Like I can hear my audiobooks through the whole dreams, and they're not bothering me, but I can just hear them, and then I'm going about my business. Yeah, so like, so I'm not sitting there and actively listening, but they're just constantly playing. That's kind of how Grey's is. But I listen to Wishful Drinking, Carrie Fisher, and it's also hilarious too. I don't really care about Star Wars, but she is a fucking like firecracker. She's a smart ass bitch, and I love her. And I remember when she passed away, our favorite podcast, Lady Watch with Ryan and Jason. I remember when she passed away, and then Debbie passed away the day after. That's a crazy thing that happened.
That's not surprising to me. It's like those like couples that will die like within hours of each other because they just heartbreak basically killed them. Yeah.
What if my mom would? I don't think my mom would die. I think she'd be really sad.
I mean, I'm not.
So I've had a vacation booked.
She's like, really good. Okay, now, the Bravo Vault, y'all. If you have Peacock, you can get on Peacock and get into they now have this section that basically is all these old Bravo shows. Okay, so one of those is Tabitha's Salon Takeover. And this was a woman who was on this show called Sheer
Madness. I think we did a couple episodes for Total Request Pod.
She's a hairstylist, and she goes into these salons and like fixes them up. There's also this one that came out around the time of Gossip
we've done that too. We've done that too, and it's crazy.
Correct. And this one is wow. The delusion.
I know.
But the one that this week I really fell into because as a Real Housewives aficionado, I never watched the Real Housewives of DC.
I didn't know that existed.
It's a one season. It got canceled after one season. Okay. Now, if we're looking at this picture, on the far right, that's Mikhail Salahi, the White House party crasher. If you remember that story, like, no. Her and her husband crashed one of the state dinners at the White House, and it became like a huge thing. They ended up having like a whole hearing in Congress about it and all this stuff. This season of Real Housewives, I binged the entire thing. It's only 11 episodes with the 2 reunion episodes, and holy effing shit, y'all. Holy shit, this is good. I don't understand how this did not get a second season. I think the ratings must not have been that great, but it is so good. It has some of the most delusional people I've ever seen on Real Housewives, and that's what we love. And it gives you the vibes of old Real Housewives, where they just were like normal.
This
kind of
color
just like,
palette is really busted, and it looks like they're just in front of it. Well, obviously they're in front of a green screen, but this color palette's really rough.
The pose they have going here too is like, what? Normally they're holding something, right?
Yeah,
so, like,
true.
Every city is holding something. In this one, they're not even holding anything. And this woman in the middle, her name's Kat.
She looks like Arden Marin, eh?
She kind of does. She says that the point in this photo is taken that she is 38 years old.
I was gonna guess that. Yeah. All right.
No.
We're
honey, watch the show. Watch the show, and you tell me if you think this woman is 38 years old. And if she is, I'm shook because damn, I'm 38. Like, anyway, you guys, please, if you have Peacock, watch it. This shit is good. I hope they revive it like they did Miami. It's necessary.
Justine wants to know: have you ever watched the Canadian Housewives, Vancouver, Toronto?
I have.
Are they all just like polite to each other?
One of them is actually scary because there's this lady named Jody something, and she's literally demented. And like scary. So I think that's in Toronto or Vancouver. Real Housewives of I don't remember. It's in one of them. Her name's Jody Clayman or something like that. And there's another lady in it that's really mean too. I think I had to download them in some weird place. Yes. All right. So, or maybe they're on the Tubi or something. Okay. So also, Vanderpump Rules, y'all. It's time.
Yeah.
This week on Vanderpump Rules, it was kind of a snooze fest, and
well, first let's talk about there was apparently a children's book fair or something in LA. Okay, sorry.
Allie's, James's girlfriend, Allie Luber, I think is her last name. She's an artist. Okay?
Raw talent.
And you have the clip.
I believe in you. I believe in you. You just need to follow all your dreams until you reach them. Till you reach them. I believe in you. You play it big, don't play it safe. Don't let your fears get in the way. The universe, she's on your side. She's always here for you and I. So you can have whatever you dream. Yes. The people that love you are the ones on your team.
Yeah.
I was going to use that as an opportunity to do some of this.
Okay, we need to talk about that late. I sent that to Justine the other morning, and we're both like, "Oh my god, she's like terrible." And then she wrote me back later, and she's like, "Oh my god, I feel bad now because they were at like a children's book fair thing." And I'm like, "Yeah, no, I knew that when I sent it to you." Doesn't make her talented.
Her keeping her hands at the sides, and then the one part I really liked is, don't you do this when you're singing? You have your legs straight, and then you put one out to the side and kind of like bend a knee because you're just so like
relax.
Just kind of stretch this leg out a little bit.
I actually don't mind the vibe of this. Like, I feel like this is like something I could have on in the background if I'm just like.
Oh, I didn't hate the song.
Yeah, no, I didn't either. And her voice isn't like, her voice is pleasing to listen to at least.
It's fine, but like maybe like even if she does a little bit of this, like hold the mic, walk around. I don't think a mic stand's the right answer for you, girl, because you're just like really a mic stand takes certain like.
No, for sure. Some people work better with a mic stand.
You gotta do something at a mic stand, babe. Yeah. Now we've seen JoJo Siwa's half mic stand, right?
No.
She uses like a stick and like carries it around like.
Did you see that Britt Smith is like blowing up?
Popping off.
I mean, I love it.
I did, but then I think some people then were canceling her because she said something. Oh, because she was pro Scooter Braun, who is like.
I can't keep up with all these people.
Now,
sounds terrible.
I guess
VPR.
Tom and Jax are in Calgary now, or they're coming to Calgary?
Oh, no. Apparently, they're coming to make a club appearance in Calgary. The two Toms and Jax. And I'm deciding.
A club
Yeah.
appearance.
Justine wants to go. And like, I'm concerned because honestly, like a club is really
Justine,
just a
after
nightmare
this,
to me.
I'm going to speak directly to Justine. After this last week of him singing,
Oh, yeah.
are we not? We're not having
no.
different
See,
feelings.
I would attend a Sandoval concert. I don't want to go to a club.
Okay.
Jax will be so coked out. I'll get coked out from Jax
Going to
just being around him.
Tom's concert, though, don't you have to pretend that it's like you're into it? Or like you could listen to him for an hour and a half singing like that?
I think it would be funny. And I think the crowd would be like, here's the thing is like, what kind of crowd is attending like a club appearance? Because like, are 18-year-olds watching Vanderpump? Because in Calgary, it's 18 is drinking age, which I think is insane.
That is insane.
Yeah. I know.
So like 18-year-olds are at the club?
Yeah. I went to a few clubs, one called the Back Alley. And there was this, and when I was 18, and there was one of those things where they like poured foam all over the place and like someone died because they asphyxiated. And I got like caught in the middle of it and like I couldn't breathe either. It was fucking traumatic.
Yeah.
That someone died, so I guess it wasn't all about me.
Well, I mean, I know you usually like to make it all.
Shut up. But it was March, turned 18, started going to the club, was able to drink, and then I went to the States in September, and then I had to wait 3 more years before turning 21.
Oh, yeah, that, and you definitely waited. You definitely waited.
I didn't really drink that much back then. I just smoked a lot anyway.
Yeah, which was illegal no matter what age.
Right. That is true. What did you think of this episode? Because I thought it was
remind me some of the events that happened in it.
Well, Lisa hosted that party for Lala, which I don't care.
The sperm donor party?
Yeah. I mean, I guess
think
good
that
idea.
Lala needs to find a hobby girl. I need Lala to stop worrying so much about Ariana. Stop worrying so much about Katie. The girl's on a press tour, basically ragging them out every 5 seconds. It's like, girl, take a chill pill. They aren't even worried about your ass. They're not pressed. Now, are you going to go to Chili's and have the new espresso martini that Katie and Sheena are like advertising?
I don't drink anymore. And also that we don't have Chili's here. And I miss Chili's so much. Those Southwestern egg rolls.
What we're going to need to do is we're going to need to sneak you across the border for an American food tour. Just for a day. We can go to all the places you missed.
Okay. I'll just go to Phoenix.
Well, I'm thinking that's a little far to sneak you across the border. I think we'd have to go somewhere a little closer. We don't want to get you...
It would be Haver, Montana.
Oh, dear.
That's where me and my dad stayed before we crossed the border. Anyway, the other thing that happened was that Tom went over to Tom Schwartz's house and he's like, Raquel did a podcast. She was so mean to me. And she said she didn't even love me at all.
I'm going to need Tom to shut the fuck up. He is not helping himself in any way. He sounds insane. He's like, she just like, I thought we were in love. I'm like, she didn't call me. She told someone else that we didn't love. And then, hey, Tom, I was thinking maybe you could pay me $6,000 to be my roommate.
Yeah, and what was Tom Schwartz eating during that? That's what I was focused on. He was eating like an industrial soup size thing. And what was it? Just like guava? There were chunks of like guava and mango or something. And he was.
I wasn't paying attention to that. I was more like adding up in my head. So that means that Tom Sandoval's mortgage is at least $10,000 a month. I wanted to believe it was 12 because that would mean he makes Schwartz pay half of it. But I have a feeling he would make Schwartz pay more than half. I just have this little inkling. And now, could you imagine the idea? Oh, let's not also forget that he wants him and Tom Schwartz to take out a loan together to rent the house out. Did you catch any of that? So this whole fight that he wants to freaking, he wants the house and he wants Ariana out so he can have the house. He can't even afford the house. He needs someone to move in and pay $6,000 a month to be a roommate.
That is crazy.
That is insane.
To be a roommate, to live with someone. Too.
And here was our back and forth. Tom's like, I know what you're gonna ask, and Sandoval's like, man, like it'd be great, like it's six, and Schwartz is like, what? I can't do that. And Tom Sandoval's like, you already pay $4,500. Okay,
Wait,
yeah,
for
but
that
I don't have
piece
to
of
live
shit
with
that
you.
Yeah, but that piece of shit that Schwartz lived, that's smaller than Janelle Brown's apartment in Flagstaff.
I completely understand and agree, but I would certainly rather pay $1,500 less to not
live by
have
myself.
to live with my friend who is a piece of shit at this point. I mean, it's at this moment, Tom Sandoval is not really. I mean, he's a piece of shit at this point. He may return to some other.
Also, you know what I noticed? Joe was not even mentioned in this episode. I thought we'd at least check in with Joe. No, bye.
We're done.
Yeah,
she did on the reunion though. Allegedly.
I know, and dressed as a clock. She went on like some interview, of course, and I saw it on TikTok. And the whole interview was like her being like, "Oh my god, it was so crazy!" And Tom Schwartz and me and Tom Schwartz and T Money, and I was like, "You're not helping the crackhead thing here." No, she was way more energized. She had some.
Well, don't call her a crackhead, Amanda. That's mean. Anyway, y'all, let's get to this.
Mean to people with ADD. Yeah, let's get into it.
Oh, really? Okay, so this, it's into the movie corner, y'all. This is usually the time when a couple people drop off. So, bye. I'll see you guys.
See you later.
Anyway, I saw the movie. It came out new this week called Abigail. Let me get the picture up here if I can.
Oh, do you want to wait?
Okay,
wait, let me just put something out in the chat really quickly. If anyone's part of our Facebook group, go on Facebook right now and write, "Hey everyone, Jody's on right now with John and Amanda live. Jump in." She's good. Yeah, go do that.
Put the link.
Put the link.
Subscribe and like
youtube.com/@podinthecity because someone is here to show proof of life. Girl, how you doing?
Oh God. I'm getting flashbacks. This is like PTSD. It's the first time I've entered this space in 48 hours.
Have you seen? Look at your face here.
No, I can't. When I tell you, I know for a fact I died and there is nothing in the afterlife. Like I am 100% sure.
Ooh,
God,
no, like I experienced some things. Like I think I said at one point when I was still able to speak that it was like there was just little people on the
I thought you were doing a bit for a little bit, like because then at one point you were doing like but then it went on so long that well, see, I would have just left, but you were kicking it in there, so I'm like,
because
I'm just gonna
in
go
my
with
paranoia. You hated me.
Oh, I thought everyone hated me by the end of the stream. I still do.
And then I was certain that like I'm like, I don't talk like a podcast. I don't do that for a living. Like I in the afterlife, there's black and gray matter, and that is what we are made of. No, I'm not even like joking. This is not a bit. Like I am for sure certain I died. And then I was scared because I couldn't move my body to even touch the mouse.
We could tell.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't touch the mouse to even try to attempt to
at
like
one point,
send a sign.
No,
like,
you kind of did though. Because you were like, well, first of all, it was agreed upon months ago that Jody's like, I'll lead the whole thing. Don't worry, you don't do anything. But to be fair, you did set the whole thing up. Like you were ready. You even put pictures in that I didn't even know about that we found later and we did put up.
Oh, and I was praying before I went unconscious that we weren't going to even like get to that. And I think Nick at some point was like, I think we should try to wrap it up. And I was like, I tried to like signal some
But
sort
then
of.
at one point, on my Mac, the live notes thing came up, and it said Jody has edited the live notes, and I was like, "Is she giving us like a signal or
did?
something?" Yeah, but then I looked up. So you did something with the live notes, but you didn't actually change anything. Then
No
meanwhile,
idea.
John has a strobe light going in the back in his.
Oh, I
feed the
remember
entire
that.
time,
I remember that.
which I'm sure wasn't helping.
And then I think
Didn't
at
even
one
notice. She didn't
point,
care.
like all I needed to do was just to put my head down and die. Like I was certain.
Oh.
And I remember thinking like, okay, so my guy Adam was here, and I remember thinking like, I just need him to come in here and like remove me from this situation, like move my body before my children find me dead.
When you were allowed to leave, you were out. I
I remember
Jody,
Amanda.
I was like, goodbye.
No, I think Amanda took me out because I remember seeing you in the
I
corner.
took
Going, woo! And then it was like, boom, lights out. And I sent like a series of.
No,
Help.
Jody took a 50 milligram edible
Never again.
before, and yeah, that's what happened.
She did it when it was just me, John, and Erica. And you're like, should I do it? And we were like, yeah. I mean, I've
was
never
like,
done
yeah,
that. But
do it.
what?
John, how the fuck do you take 500? That is 10 times the amount.
I think that I am so like messed up in the brain already that it kind of almost just like rights me. There is not a moment in that where I'm like.
Also, you've only been
Like,
taking
ever.
CBD, THC into your system for like a year.
Yeah,
Really.
yeah,
Oh, true.
exactly.
On a regular basis.
Like the
So.
most I've taken at one time is like 20 milligrams. And then maybe a couple hours later, I've taken like a 10. But never have I, nor will I ever take that amount. Like it was the worst experience of my life. It was awful.
Well, now you learn.
Yeah, well, and that made that.
Did you see him come and get me then, or was I out at that point?
You were.
think you
We
were
were like,
gone.
let's let her leave, and then no one really knew what to do, and then I think I just clicked you out.
I'm so sorry, you guys.
But you were seriously
sorry.
struggling, and then we put together this
It was
like
great.
this song
Don't
with like a
apologize.
slideshow of all our pets, and I was
Oh,
like,
I
well,
vaguely remember
this
that.
will be good because this will ground Jody, and I mean your face still didn't move the whole time. I think that's kind of where was the beginning of the turning
I remember
point.
it got hot, and I felt like I was gonna pass out. And then I remember, I don't know if it was you or Adam just being like, it's not like that with weed. You're not going to throw up. And I remember being pulled up out of here. And then I pretty much just like fell into my bathroom and vomited for hours.
Ooh. And you had just been eating like
I'm sorry.
candies too, like munchy stuff. So that's
I had I had reheats of a penny alla vodka. Which is never going to be the same.
Yeah, there's certain foods you'll never be able to eat that.
Like I didn't remember my kids' names. Like I knew I had children, but I didn't even know what that meant. I was like, there are beings.
Why didn't you say something?
Yesterday, I was laid out yesterday. Like couldn't function. Still felt high. It was awful.
I was super paranoid that I thought you were mad at me the whole
drugs.
time. I was like, she's gonna quit. She's never gonna want to talk to me again. This is all over. Because then I was super high. So the whole 429, I'm like, I was messaging you like you were my boyfriend. Well, I mean, I messaged you like 3 times, but I was like, just let me know when you're okay. And then in the morning, I'm like, hey, buddy.
Oh no,
everything good.
I just ordered one of those caps that you have.
Oh, the migraine caps. Yeah, those are great.
Oh, I put that thing on and I was out like a light.
Oh, I bet. But did you feel refreshed in the morning or no? You had the weed hangover like Jackie and Roseanne and Dan.
All day yesterday. It was awful. And then I thought I would be like, oh, okay, feeling better. I put my little cap on, I take a nap, and then I wake up and I felt like it had like a half-life. Then I was high again.
It was the release. What are those called? Extended relief.
Yeah, it must have been. It was actually. You know what? I'll show you. It's still in the drawer. This is what I took. Don't. This is what I took.
It's fine. We're not monetized yet.
You guys don't
Okay.
Don't fuck with
And
it.
what did it? How big was the gummy?
Well, here, I'll show you. It's 15 milligrams. Oh my God. It's
Oh,
more
by
of
the
like
way,
a taffy-ish consistency.
We got
Look
like
at it.
100 notifications over
no.
like the past 24 hours, like from YouTube. Like, FYI, we marked your video as not suitable for children. And we're like, yeah, no shit.
We had a live death on air. Are you
Yeah.
kidding?
And it might not be suitable for all ads. And then they dinged us for the song that me and Nick sang. I'm like, did you think that was Mandy Moore and Zachary
What
Levi?
did
Because that
So
was
that
the original.
was Rapunzel.
Yeah, it was the Lantern song.
I
Okay,
really
I'm
thought it was
really
kind of
sorry.
funny that you guys recorded your own good version of the song.
We
Like you
always
needed
do.
to prove everyone that you like weren't
We do-
terrible.
We
or-
do it every year. Yeah.
I
For
also
any
think
new
at
people.
some point, you and I, Amanda, were posting and then reposting people's comments. Because like I was posting them while you were talking, and then like I'd see you post the same ones. And I think we did that like probably 10 times for each comment.
I think when I knew it was really taking a turn is when we had a whole discussion plan for The Room, which you were kind of, because you're the only person that had
That
never
was
fucked
the
with it.
turn.
Yeah, and then I was like, "What do you think?" And you're
that
like,
was pretty fast
was
into
good.
it.
It's pretty good.
and then
It's
no
like
one really
25
knew what
minutes.
to do. But just so you know, like once you left,
Oh,
we
no.
stayed on for like a good 15 minutes, and honestly, the chat, I mean, all the comments, the messages, the
You guys really
YouTube
had
comments-
fun then?
No,
We were
everyone's like,
finally.
everyone's like, we get it. Like everyone has been there. Like
Oh my God,
it
I
was
felt so
nothing but
stupid.
love because we've all been there and it sucks. Funny that you had to do it for the first time at age 40, but you
No,
did
I mean,
it.
like that is precisely why I never did any sort of drug my entire life, because that's what I was afraid was going to happen. It is awful. And I recall me being like, if my kids were saying I'm going to a drinking party or pot party, be like, go to the pot party, kids. And then here I'm like flatline an hour after I say that. It's awful. So am I going to be like more prone to get that experience now?
No, you just took way too much. You should try other things. Honestly, like you should get like a little tiny water bong. I can say bong. Well, whatever. You showed the
Okay.
gummy.
Song, a water song, yes.
A water fart. And it's like a little one, just a little kind of bubbler, and then that won't
Okay.
hurt your throat, and then you can control it better.
Yeah, this was awful.
And then Jody goes, maybe I should try that thing that you were talking about with the sink and the water. And I was like, oh, a gravity bong? Yeah, that should definitely vote.
No, I said the water thing, and I think you. I don't even know.
thought you meant
I mean,
Gravity bomb would literally kill you. So if
I've
you
done it
wanna
once,
die-
and I coughed up blood
Oh.
because my throat started like bleeding.
as I'm sitting here, I'm remembering. I think I was breathing
The
like
scene of
that
the crime.
because there's I have like
This
a
is immersion
box that my
therapy.
laptop is sitting on, and I think in my mind I was like, oh, my breath will reflect off of that, and it will like fan me.
That might have been
Like, I was
laced with
trying to
something.
cool my.
Let's just
I
remind
think I
everyone
was.
Jody's face while you talk.
Oh, I was fighting to keep my eyes open.
Look
Fighting.
how unbothered
Awful.
completely John is in this picture. He looks sober as a fuck.
Look at everyone
None.
else. I'm not the most unbothered.
Oh
Look at
my
everyone else.
God.
Look at Nick. Look at them. Don't just judge me.
I do remember Nick saying like, okay, I'm gonna wrap it up, and I remember thinking like, oh
No,
God.
Nick also texted me, which I didn't see afterward. He's like, Jody looks like she's about to die. I think we should try to wrap her up. But it's not
I
later.
think, like, can you? A serious question. I'm not even joking. Like, can you die from a pot overdose?
No.
No.
I think that they say you have to like eat like the equivalent of like 50 pounds of weed in
And I
order
think
to
you'd throw up
overdose.
anyway.
Okay, I never thought that you could throw up on it, but like,
And,
whoa.
and one of the smartest things someone ever told me, I was going to the airport in Arizona and I had just started smoking. I was a bebe. And my friend Danny said to me, and I was like, I want to get high, but what if I get arrested in the airport? And he's like, Amanda, always remember this. You can never get arrested for just being high. And I was like, and I carried that with me.
Huh.
It would have been my yearbook statement.
I don't know if that's true.
I think you can.
For being high?
Well, like,
No.
think about if you're being drunk,
But
and
like
you're
public
Oh, but I don't-
intoxication
causing a
or-
ruckus.
Okay, but I would just be like, I'd be like you in that picture. I'm not causing
I know.
anyone any problems.
I mean,
It's
I
none of my own
thought
business.
for sure when I made it to the second bathroom and I was still puking, I thought for sure that's where I was going to die. Because I remember saying, leave my clothes on, because I didn't want to be found naked and dead.
Why would you?
Like, it was-
You said that to who?
Her boyfriend.
Yeah.
You said, leave my clothes.
Oh, and then Adam's like, yeah, I texted it. He was like,
Yeah, no,
are you still on
That was
there?
strange. That actually freaked me out more because then I was like, oh, because he sounded really mad at me,
No.
which I took because I was so fucked up already.
Oh,
And I
okay.
was like, he's mad. And this is over. It's all over.
Well, he was like, are you still recording? If I go in there and turn everything off, like, am I going to be like on camera? And I was like, no, I don't think so. And I'm like, just text Amanda, I'm sorry. And then when I read back the text, he's like, this is Adam, Jody's boyfriend or whatever. And I'm like, you sound like an asshole. Like, oh, I'm just.
I was super hyped up, and I just thought I already thought you were mad at me, but you're fine. And I wanted you to make sure no one was mad at you, no one was judging you.
Okay,
but
thank
because
you.
we've all been there, and it sucked.
No, you can judge me. It was honestly like the worst experience of my life. That was awful. Like, you really do
Well,
question
that's unfortunate.
your existence. Like, what is reality? What is not? What is going on? And I thought it would never end. I thought, like, this is how I've damaged my brain, and this is how I'm going to live from now on.
Yeah, that's what you think. One of the first time I took I took a bong hit, I drank water straight from under the tap, and this was in Phoenix, and you don't drink water out of the tap in Phoenix because it
Why?
tastes like sand.
Oh.
Water in
does
Phoenix
taste
is not the
like
best, but
dirty.
I remember the thought: is this my life forever now? Like, will I always be in this? Yeah.
Well, I did start crying at some point last night when I was
Last
still
night.
high, and I was like, is this going to be forever? Like, am I going to be like, I felt like those kids who come out of anesthesia and they're like, is this life
Yeah.
now? Like, I have a mom?
Or like people that get stuck in an acid trip.
100%. Like, I think that has to be, like, Jeremy drugged me. Like, someone drugged me, someone laced that thing. It was awful.
Well, I thought you did wonderfully, but I mean, if you want to know how
Thank
loved
you.
you are, you should just look at all the comments and messages.
Are
that I'm
you
sure you
sure? Because
received.
that's what I was like, oh,
Not a
God,
single
I'm
piece
so
of judgment
embarrassed.
whatsoever.
I'm an adult, and that happened to me. It's awful.
It made for a perfect 420, and it'll go down in history. And next year, someone else will. You'll be DeBelle of DeBall next year.
Oh, I'm gonna have to start like tapering down so I get back to like a 5
Now you're gonna
or
have
a
to build
10,
your
'cause-
tolerance up. Get it
Oh,
built
we should
up,
make
man.
your goal next year to take another 50,
Are you
and then like
crazy?
see how and like. But by that time, you will have like that'll be like your
Built
goal
up.
for the year. Yeah.
You know
wanna
that
See,
you
guys,
have
this is how
custody
Amanda
of my
convinced
children.
me to.
If I
Uh-huh.
pass on, do you really want to be Paige and Charlie's new mommy? Because they're
Nope.
coming to you. Actually, you know what?
Not
You're
at the
getting
age
Scout.
they're at
Is
right now.
Amanda your
Scout.
kid's godmother?
I'll
You
take
wanna
Scout.
rethink that? No, you're not.
I'll
taking
take Scout. Yeah.
Mm,
Knock some sense into her.
I was gonna say teach her a few things.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us,
Okay,
Jody.
thanks, guys. All right, love you.
Bye.
Bye, Jody. Oh, bye.
All right. So there we go. She's alive. Anyway, go back to what were you talking about? Are you frozen?
What was I talking about? I was talking about my movie
movie.
corner.
Yeah.
So all right, a nice little fresh start there. Now, I saw the movie that came out this week called Abigail. This movie, unfortunately, gave away way too much in the trailer. I'm just not gonna say it. It's about a little girl who is a ballerina, and she's kidnapped in the movie, and that's kind of all I'll leave it at. It's like a bumbling group of people kidnap her, and what happens then?
Oh, I think I would
actually-
like that.
I actually really liked most of this movie. It was pretty cool. If you watch the commercials, they give it away. So I would say don't watch a commercial and just go, because there's something in it that's like would have been like, wow, if you didn't see the
Oh, what is it?
commercials. Spoiler alert in 3, 2, 1.
Oh, I was kidding. Don't say it. You shouldn't
Oh,
spoil.
okay.
I don't think you should spoil stuff like the week that a movie
Oh, okay.
comes out.
Okay, well, it's in the commercial. I'll say
Oh.
though, if you want to see this movie and you like horror-y, campy, like there's campy parts in it that I was like just laughing at, which I love.
All
Try
right.
this movie out. And then I have a movie recommendation for a campy horror movie. All right, and that movie is House. All right. This movie came out in 1977.
Oh,
Okay.
I would never watch that.
Um,
Oh.
Here's what it would be like if you look at it on Max. Okay. The byline here is a schoolgirl spends her summer vacation in a haunted house. Basically, this girl and her friends go to like I believe it's her aunt's house, and all this wacky-ish stuff happens. Here are some stills from the movie. If you're someone like me who likes, like, I love visual things.
Yeah.
It's really cool. It's
and this is from the 70s. That's kind of cool. I feel like this would be a fun movie to get high and watch.
Well, that was kind of my thought here too. It is still 420 week-ish. Check this movie out. It's on Max. It's called House. And if you look it up like online, it's basically, they call it like the wildest and weirdest horror movie ever.
Okay, I've never heard of it.
It's not terrifying. It's not terrifying.
Do you want to talk about the movie that you kind of tried to talk about on 420, by that time it was like super off the rails, but it's like a really good recommendation?
Yes. I'll also answer this. Are you excited for Maxine? I am excited for Maxine because I like X and I like Pearl. Yeah. So I am excited. I can't wait. I think that whole concept is really cool, what they did with that. We're filming like 2 movies really back to back and not telling people that they're going to be prequels and blah, 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 blah. It was really cool.
Okay.
And so the movie that I was trying to recommend on 420 is it even in here?
Yeah.
Smiley face.
John Krasinski's in it. I didn't even see that on 420. I don't know he was in that.
He plays the guy that like has a crush on her.
Oh, I need to go back. I don't remember anything about that movie, but I remember actively loving it.
It is so fucking funny. Anna Faris is funny as fuck. To begin with.
Love her.
And she plays a girl who's a stoner, and it's like kind of like a Harold and Kumar type situation where she ends up eating all these pot cupcakes that her roommate left. And she's like a dozen turned into Jody. Basically. She has all these she has a bunch of different like scenarios where she goes, and they're very relatable if you've like gotten stoned before. Like there's one where she's like gonna drive her car, she gets in the car and she's like trying to back out. She doesn't even start moving, and she like sees a devil like appear behind her. And she's like trying to back out, and she's like tripping out. She ends up not getting out. She like rolls out of her car. And just like, she is really funny. If you like a stonery type movie, I would totally check it out. It didn't get a bunch of recognition either.
It made me. It was this the her and Chris Pratt getting divorced is what started. I think most people on the trajectory of like realizing like he had really a fall from grace. But he was like the most wanted man because he was like funny but also good looking, but like a little bit more relatable because he had like a little bit of meat on him, and then he became like this Hollywood douchebag.
Everything that's come out about him, he's a nut job. He is full on a nut job. And he like left him and Anna Faris broke up. He ended up, the thing that really one of the things that sent me over the edge was, I guess on a Mother's Day, he made a post to his new wife that's like, thank you for giving me a beautiful, normal child or something. And his child with Anna Faris, I guess, has autism or something.
Yeah, and he probably didn't mean it that way, but it's like, he still wrote that.
No, he definitely did. I'm sorry, he did. And he's not, if he didn't,
then he
needs to fucking get his brain checked. Because if that's your own child, like, what a piece of shit. Anyway. Don't get me started. Don't even get me started.
Oh my God, I was just listening. I was just watching that sketch yesterday because Molly Shannon talks about it in her book.
Oh, yeah.
Don't get me. Hey, ladies. What is this? The dumpster or my boyfriend after he's alone in the house all day? Don't get me started. Don't even get me started. Anyway.
Yeah.
I watched a movie this week because I was gonna go on like an 80s movie kick, but then I started like going down an SNL wormhole. But I wanted to like I think I was listening to Lady Watch. That's what it was. I was listening to Lady Watch Mike Nichols. And I'm gonna sneeze in a second. But so they're always referencing this movie, Working Girl. Okay, where's the thing?
Mhm.
Okay, have you ever seen this movie?
I've never actually watched it, no.
Okay. So and like it's talked about with so much reverence. Okay. It's like this thing is so bad. Like it is like so bad. And you know who's like the worst actor ever? Melanie Griffith. She's like really bad in it. Not like bad like
think
Heather Graham and Austin Powers, like actively bad, but just like, what are you doing? You're just
But I
saying
kind of
words.
think that not how they always said that she wasn't that great of an actress? Or
Well, here, listen to this shit. This was nominated for many Oscars, including Best Movie and Best Actress. And I think supporting for Sigourney Weaver, who's fine in the movie.
I think times were different back when that
It is a
There's
crazy.
no way that would be nominated now.
No, and like this was in 1988, I want to say. Oh, did I not get the other pictures up? Darn it. Oh, they must not have gone through. But like her hair looks insane in this movie. And I just don't remember even in the 80s. Oh, her hair is shorter here though. But her hair looks crazy in the movie. Like she looks like Spike from Degrassi. Like it looks, and then Joan Cusack is in it, and she looks
I love Joan Cusack.
busted. I love Joan Cusack,
Love
but like
her.
everything about this, and it goes nowhere. There's zero chemistry between her and Harrison Ford, and then I look and this got nominated for several Oscars. What the hell? I might be wrong. I mean, this is just my opinion, but I thought this movie was a big like dump.
Oh, well, tell Lady Watch that's how you felt, and see how that works out for you.
Anyway, oh yeah, but Alec Baldwin's in it too. Not his fault.
Oh, he is. Oh my god, Amanda.
It wasn't his fault.
I am kind of one of those people that kind of agrees on that, because I'm like, so if I'm an actor in a movie, please don't cancel me, world. But if I'm an actor in the movie and someone hands me a gun to use, you want me? I'm supposed to then like know how to open it, look and see if the bullet's real or not. Like
and if I did open it and looked at it, I'm like, I don't know what I'm looking at.
That's what I'm saying. What am I supposed to know? Like, I would expect that the person whose sole job is to set up the guns would be able to set up the guns. Sorry.
That said, I think he probably is like a huge piece of shit, but like,
oh, he is. Well, you know, his wife, Ilaria.
Don't get Jody started on that. Jody's obsessed with Ilaria.
If you're willing to marry Ilaria, I think you got problems. Sorry, Miss Mama is the thirstiest person I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
That's coming from a thirsty bitch here.
Also, I rented Serial Mom, which I've never seen.
Okay.
And is that Joan Waters? Because I hate Joan Waters, but I feel like everyone quotes it so much. So will I like this? Because it's still sitting in my.
Did you watch it?
I rented it the other day, and then
You don't like Joan Waters.
I don't like that there was animal abuse.
I think you'll like Kathleen Turner, though.
I do like Kathleen.
She's funny in it. Just watch it. You watch every freaking thing. I'm surprised, like you're having issues.
Crossroads this morning.
Contemplating watching this, but you'll watch like every other garbage that you watch. I mean, no offense. Sorry, I don't mean to talk down to you. Anyway,
well, speaking of the garbage that I'm watching, here's the last thing I wanted to talk about. Okay, so there was no episode of Grey's or SNL this week, or next week.
How are you holding up? How are you holding up, Amanda?
I don't know. Is Abbott no Abbott Elementary either? Or maybe there was, but anyway, I don't know. Is it like spring break or something? I guess maybe it is.
I don't think so.
End of April.
I don't think so.
Anyway, but I've been rewatching. Maybe. I've been rewatching Grey's, as everyone knows. I'm on season 8. They're about to get into the plane crash, and there was this episode I just watched where the plot is just that it's at Valentine's Day or something. And, Miranda Bailey, her husband, Ben, who's a firefighter on Station 19, he comes in except he's still an anesthesiologist in this scene. But he comes in and he's like, she's like, I have plans with the girls tonight because we're taking Teddy out because she's depressed. because her husband just died. And he's and Ben's like, oh, I had other stuff planned. I booked us. I had plans to go salsa dancing tonight. And Miranda's like, salsa dancing. He's like, you know what I mean, salsa dancing. And so like, I got it. Innuendo, not funny, but like we get with that went on for another
butt sex or what?
Okay. So just
salsa
that
dancing?
exchange. Like I had plans to go salsa dancing tonight. What do you mean salsa? No, salsa dancing. Oh, salsa dancing. That should have been the joke. Like, oh, we're gonna fuck tonight. Like we're gonna have sex tonight. But then it went back and forth for, I swear to God, 20 seconds of just salsa dancing. Yeah, salsa dancing. Oh, you mean salsa dancing? And then the music's like boom, 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 like zany, porny. How am I supposed to take that? Because that's what I got. I'm like, is she pegging him tonight? Because they really let that sit. And then they reference salsa dancing later as an innuendo.
So they didn't go salsa dancing.
No, they were talking about sex, but they let that thing sit in the air like, oh, salsa. Oh, that salsa. I'm like, okay, so it seems like they're going to go further than just they have a date to have a quickie tonight. They're going to do something freaky.
I think he's going to like, I don't know, jizz down her throat or something. Like,
is that what, like, because it seemed like the way they were like salsa looking at each other. It's something that they only do like once a year.
Unfortunately, that could just mean like doggy style for some straight couples. Honestly, I mean, not to be bitchy, but see,
I agree. I think it might have just meant sex.
And yeah, what I did yesterday, these people would go.
What you did yesterday.
Preview for Patreon this week.
I can't wait. Woo!
I'm not talking about it here, but
I agree with Fat Lemons here that
they do.
That yeah, I think that it might just be that they were just gonna have sex and they thought that the audience would not understand this innuendo, and so they let it sit. But they let it sit.
I think it's a bad innuendo though.
Yeah, I'm like, she is like pegging him, like tying him up, like making him wear like an adult diaper. Like there's some freaky shit going on.
She's gonna do some cock and ball torture. She's gonna like stomp his balls.
Yeah.
I would love that.
Well, anyway, so
I'm not receiving that or doing that, but I would love if they did that. I mean, next topic. TikTok, TikTok. You know.
Ow! Jesus Christ!
Oh my God. What just happened?
Latrice just jumped up from the ground, but the way she did it was grab. Like
Good job, Latrice. Good job.
Fucking bitch, I'm bleeding. You broke the skin.
Oh, Butch does the same shit. And now that like it's getting hot, mind you, it was 100 yesterday here.
Danielle Marie says that her puppy Clementine is 9 years old today.
Oh,
she could get a little shout out, please. Her name is Nick.
Happy birthday, Clementine. Oh,
happy birthday from Latrice.
Come on. Latrice is like, leave me alone,
like, fuck
lady.
you, Clementine. All right, get out.
She's got her ears back. She's done with your shit.
Get the fuck out of here, then. All right, what do we got?
I think the biggest thing on TikTok is there is a new crowning. There's a new.
Not that kind of crowning. Not the Miranda Bailey and Ben pegging crowning, but
first of all, there's a new crowning, and that crowning is. Open That Doll. It's a fabulous new TikTok you can follow. Second, though, is
play the original one first. Oh yeah, okay, good.
Is there a clip? Did you have a clip?
I have videos of the original girl and then the second one. So
okay,
can you set up?
If you guys know, this is Legally Blonde the musical. You've probably seen the clip because it's like the salesperson clip where Elle Woods is going to buy a dress and the salesperson's like, ooh, I can make a sale to a stupid blonde. And she's like, have you seen the dress with the half loop stitch on China silk? And they're like, yes, blah, 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 blah. And then she's like, well, I'm not stupid. And so then they do this whole change of like the salesperson. It's like an iconic line.
But there's this thing that came out 15 years ago called The Red Room. And it was like a children's theater and it was in Vancouver actually. And they made this promotional video where they like recorded a rehearsal. I read interviews from the girls, like the original girls from the actual sales girl. And They did like this professional thing where like they taped 2 rehearsals. That's why the dress goes back and forth between like pink and red and some of the shots. They had like someone on stage, like a full Hamilton thing where they're like going around, like everyone's like singing into the thing. And it's great. Everyone wants to watch it. It's just the opening number. It is the most funny and it's almost endearing to watch. Like you don't really want to make fun of them. It's just everything about it is so perfect.
I'm, in my opinion, like as a person who has like directed children like this, I'm not making fun of them at all. This is funny actually, and it's actually more like I'm kind of surprised, at least with the new version, that there was like I'm not sure what happened here. I would also like to say I have been in professional productions that have been professionally filmed.
Yeah,
and the production quality on this one is somehow like it is Hamilton level of filming.
Yeah, it really is.
Like, damn. And it almost seems like it was like the first rehearsal. Like they only practiced one day or something.
Yeah, and then the girl playing Elle said that she was sick, and she's also like she had a clear growth spurt.
That's the old one, you mean?
I don't think she's that much older, though. I think she just had a growth spurt.
I'm talking about the old version of this.
Oh, this so this is the original old version. So
okay.
This is Red Room.
I've got eyes. Oh my God, Elle Woods. Sorry, our mistake. Courtney, take your break. Just ignore her. She hasn't been well. Try this latest from Milan. Go on, try it on. I take care of my best clientele. It's a gift from me to Elle. Oh my God, you guys.
It's the same amount of amazing every time we see it. So
well, I'll say she is my favorite. That one that's in that clip is my favorite of the ones that are shown around. But there is a new queen. Now, if you thought that one was
it's a different level because this girl, the original girl, is giving everything, and this girl is giving the opposite of that, really.
I feel almost bad for this girl because I'm wondering, like, did she just get the part yesterday?
No, I think she just didn't give a shit. It sounds like she doesn't give a
Amanda, now have you not ever directed something like this or done something like this?
Of course I have.
Like with kids?
Yeah.
You cast. They would not have cast this little girl in this part if this is what she gave at the audition.
Baby, Joan.
No. You
this
still
is the part you
have
give
an
to a
audition.
Nepo baby.
No,
you give them the 16 bar cut in the beginning, and then you never see them again.
Because this part's too hard, as we witness now. Play it. Play that shit.
They're British, by the way.
Lady, I've got eyes. Oh my God, Elle was sorry. I'm a mistake. Courtney, take your break. Try this. Latest from Milan. Go on, try this on. I take care of my best clientele. It's a gift from me to
Now, the poor thing skipped a line is the real problem there.
Oh, she did
skip the... She did.
From Milan.
Elle Wood, sorry, our mistake. Courtney, take your break. Just ignore her. She hasn't been well. Try this. I think she missed the just ignore her. She missed something in there. And that's why she was really so far ahead. She skipped one of the whole lines. Now, poor sweetie.
But the Britishness makes her seem cool.
Well, I remember watching it and being like, is she pretending to be British? And I think one of the comments was like, is Elle Woods British? Because Elle Woods kind of had an English accent or an.
I think they're all British. This must have.
They are.
Yeah.
They are, but she has an American accent for like half the line and then a British accent for the other.
Give them.
Anyway, they are children, so.
Yes. No, but it's just so fabulous, and I think that this girl, like, I hope this little girl's also at an age where, like, it's not. She probably doesn't understand the funniness of it. Whereas at least in the first one, the girls are like, no, it sucks that that became famous and it's super embarrassing. But now I wonder if the original sales girl is like pissed at this little girl. And she's like, hey, I was the original sales girl. I was the one.
Oh, you think?
I don't know.
Because
she's famous.
People are like putting them together.
Yeah, I know. Well, anyway. That's my TikTok thing. And then do you have any TikTok thing? I have one other thing just to mention that I saw, but it's not like a big deal.
No, I don't. Except for that, please go to TikTok and follow Open That Doll.
Yeah.
And watch my videos because it's not like too hard. See, in just the last time of being here, I've gotten 12 followers. and 25 likes.
I wish
So,
our subscribe button was like that.
girl, trust me. I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, how can I? What I did here, I will say, I've been learning. Okay, I will talk a little bit about TikTok. I have been learning. I've been learning how to edit the videos on TikTok. It's kind of slightly fun. And what I've been doing to try and get followers is I just try and follow as many people as I can. I go to the suggested and just like follow every single person, hoping they'll follow me back. And it's kind of worked, but TikTok limits how many people you can follow in a day.
Oh, really?
So I think you can only follow up to like 150 people in a day or something. And it was like cutting me off from following people, or else I would be already following like 25,000 people in hopes they could. Yeah. I'm wondering, who is Actual Truth? Who is that?
That's Jody.
Oh, okay. Because I've seen that.
And it's I think it's a pic. I think her profile picture is Meredith Marks.
It is. Because I'm always like, it has to be someone we know. It has to be.
Well, let's wrap it up on this thing that I saw of Kate Blanchett talking about snowblowers. And it's like it's this compilation that she is so, like, I've never been so serious about anything than she is on this. And I want to get your opinion on this. Or no, not snowblowers, leaf blowers. And it's this compilation of her on like 20 different interviews getting like incredulously like reacting to. And what is your opinion on that too? Because I have such a strong opinion on leaf blowers. I feel like most podcasters who podcast out of their house hate leaf blowers because like that's the sound and just that leaf blowers. And what is the utility of these things? Because she's like, you're blowing it from there to there, you're just blowing it just there. Now
I am a proponent of a leaf blower. I do find them annoying, but I do have a yard guy that comes every 2 weeks and he does use a leaf blower, and I get it. So it's so he can blow all the stuff into one corner and pick it all up at once. If he's trying to rake it all, some of it you can't even get with a rake. So you do need the leaf blower. I do find it annoying, and he never comes before like 10 a.m. anyway. What I hated is I lived in an apartment for 1 year ever, and there they would get all the maintenance done at like, I don't know, 6 a.m. So it'd be outside your window, chainsaws, leaf blowers. Yeah. That I find annoying, but you know, at my own, I'm like. The
thing is just that, like, with the technology that exists today, this is still, you have to put like the weight of another person on your back and like carry around this fucking Ghostbusters industrial thing. Like, this is the technology.
Dyson would have made versions.
Yeah, because they have like silent vacuums. Why can't a leaf blower be less? And honestly, just when I lived in New York and was podcasting, those guys would come every day at like 3 p.m. right when I was recording, and we would just have to sit and wait, and they would stay forever, and I hated them, and I always wanted to scream at them, but I'm like, well, they're doing their job, and that job sucks, and it's like 800 degrees outside, and they're carrying this thing around, and I'm inside in my AC podcasting.
And you're whining.
Am I what?
And you're whining.
And I'm
poor guys out there. I mean, shouldn't be sexist. That sounds sexist. They're not all guys.
No, it was.
Anyway, we're hitting that point, baby dolls. So
but
here's the
join
rundown.
us this week.
Here's all the shit we'd love for you to do. If you would like to give us a 5-star rating, please do. If you want to give us any less, email us first. All right. We've been getting a lot of really nice reviews, and you guys are just the sweetest. And I love you guys so much.
And then go to our Patreon. Stories if you want. patcpod@gmail.com. We need more sex stories for our Sex and the City recaps.
If it's either do that or the other things, though, do the other things, like subscribe to our YouTube, like this video, give us a comment, even if it's just you giving a thumbs down comment. I don't care. It helps us. We're so close to getting 500 subscribers. Anyway, we love you guys so much. And is that it, Miss Amanda? Does anyone have any questions in the chat? Anyone have any questions for us in the chat? Anyway, guess we're leaving. Like, I can't even hear you. You're like completely cut out.
All right.
Anyway, bye.
God damn it.